Okay, for some reason, we are like this today. This is weird, but there we go. Oh, we are portrait instead of landscape today for some reason. I don't know why, but there you go. But anyway, Mitchell and Boo, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Like I say, it's, I don't know, it's an alright day today so far. This morning. Bit cloudy, bit overcast, but that's fine. Meant to be good weather for the rest of the day, so we'll see what happens. But like I say, good morning, good morning, good morning. Please, please, please do remember to, as always, hit the like and share button on your way in. Like I say, it gets more people in and gets them told regularly. Good morning to you. Fitness, good morning to you from Louisiana. Good morning to you. Actually, it's so weird having my phone orient this way for some reason. I don't know why it's done this. Pretty Bird, greetings. Good morning to you. Really doesn't seem any easier. But oh well. We will deal with it. We will deal with it. Because I have to restart the stream completely. To re-enter it. To change it. I don't know. Is there a way I can change it? I don't know. Feels really weird. So if highlight share, no. Ugh. Never mind. Anyway, we will deal. We will deal with it today. But yes, good morning everyone. Like I say, I hope you're having a fantastic morning so far. Looking forward to your weekends. And hold on, is this? There we go. I hope that's it. There we go. So, I think first of all, let's talk about GB News. Oh my word. So, from what we know, and from at least what we understand, or at least I'll take you through the timeline of events, Dan Wootton hosted a show on which he had Lawrence Fox. And Lawrence Fox decided to go on what has been dubbed a complete and utter misogynistic tirade that everyone is in unanimous agreement. Yeah, that was bad. You shouldn't have done that. This then quickly got him suspended and booted from GB News, with him complaining that this was his free speech. And yet, here's the thing we always say about these idiots who go on to, use freedom of speech as some sort of like the ultimate form of defense. Yes, you have freedom of speech, but you do not have freedom from the consequence of the things that you say. Someone is always going to be able to talk back to you, or in this case, the Ofcom rules are going to slap you down hard. Because there are a number of outstanding Ofcom complaints against GB News, of which, if they keep on getting these complaints, Ofcom is then going to have to be in a situation where it comes to their license renewal to go, yeah, we're not going to renew your license. So that will be an interesting position for GB News to be put in. Let's see if we can actually fish and lock. I don't want to. No, never mind. Jane Lockwood, good morning to you as well. So this then also resulted in Dan Wootton coming out and saying, I never knew any of this was planned. Paz News, good morning to you. I never knew this was planned. I never knew, he was going to come out and say all this stuff. To which then Lawrence Fox released a ton of messages saying the exact opposite. That not only did Wootton knew he was going to do this speech, he had pre-prepared, pre-planned, and his production team knew this was going to happen. To which I say, whoever is the editorial controller over at GB News, wouldn't be surprised if we found out they'd got the sack recently. So this ended up on... You'll have to excuse me today because we've got the phone, I don't know why it decided to do it this way. Just got the phone in an unusual position. It's annoying to hold. This is why I keep on saying I need to get a phone holder or something like that, but we'll see. But anyway, it's good exercise. Pretty Bird sounds like a mess. Oh, it is a mess. It is an absolute mess what they've got themselves into. And I think because there was such an outcry, in this regard, they felt that they had to actually act. So not only has Lawrence Fox been let go, Dan Wootton's been let go, or at least probably about to be let go. And then out of nowhere comes our everyone's favorite cosplay priest, saying that he was going to go on strike over this. To which GB News then responded, "Oh no, you ain't going on strike. You're sacked." So we've had sort of the trifecta of absolute terribleness completely sacked and got rid of on GB News. Yeah, that Sky News interview, Paz. Oh, Loki's children, good morning to you as well. Like I say, I do apologise if I missed your message or anything like that today. I don't know if you can tell, for some reason my phone's decided it's going to lock itself into this orientation today, which makes it even more difficult to read your comments. Craig, yeah, Sideshow God, gone from our screens. Yep, exactly. All we need now is Darren Grimes to go. And you've pretty much got rid of, like, some of the worst people from GB News. Mithril, good morning to you. Honestly, it's fantastic, and they've got no one else to blame for it but themselves. This isn't a free speech issue, and it wouldn't shock me if, you know, they ended up somewhere else on some, shall we say, other alternative channel. We need to spread it to Baby Talk TV. Well, the thing is, Talk TV, I will probably say this now, Talk TV are probably more aware and professional in their regards on this. Cathode G, good morning to you. You know, the stuff that you see from Talk TV is bad. But I guarantee you, they've got producers and their content editors behind the scenes who are like no, that's too far, no, that's too far, that's a red line, you cannot cross that red line. So they know that's probably going to be behind the scenes on that. Yeah, that's a low bar to clear. Exactly. Larry the Cat, good morning to you. Good morning, everybody's. What's this about? Talk Shite TV. Probably the fact that they are probably more, quote, professional. I use some heavy lifting quotation marks for the word professional. But they've probably got content editors and etc. behind the scenes going, no, that's a bit too risque, can't say that, can't do that. Because at the end of the day, they don't want to get fined from Ofcom. So we'll see what happens with that. Go. But this is one of those stories where it's been a long time coming, and once again it's proven what we said all along about all these free speech issues that these people on the right always have, that they don't have the freedom of the consequences that they think they do. Oh, Mithril, welcome to the Pony Club. Look, Cavalan, good morning to you. But yeah, it's hilarious, to be honest. Absolutely hilarious. What's this? Chody C. Yes, Darren Grimes has been in the radar after his vile YouTube videos. GB News, the vile bunch, he fits in perfectly. Well, yeah, that's what everyone's thinking, that he's going to be next. Or what a lot of people are saying. Oh, no. Oh, no, there we are. Oh, no, we're back. See, this is the other bad thing when it's in this rotation. I can't do a side on side, but never mind. Pruny Bird, yes, the Barnsley Triangle strikes again. Dave W, good morning to you. But yes, it's very likely that, or at least I suspect, he is going to be next, if not in the firing lines on this. Buddy, there you go. But yes, it would not surprise me. Would not surprise me in the least if we see him going in the next couple of hours. But also, if he's smart about it, which he seems to be about it, he's keeping his mouth shut. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in that regard. Alina, good morning to you. Hello. Welcome to the Good Morning Walk. If it's your first time here, like I say, welcome everyone, by the way. If it's your first time on the Good Morning Walk, welcome. We do this every Saturday morning, weather permitting, of course. And for some reason today, my phone's decided to put us in portrait, which is really annoying. Which is really annoying to hold, but never mind. We will, as they say, soldier on in this regard. But yeah, that's the GB News story. Seems to have been a long time coming, but then again, things with Ofcom normally are a long time in the works. I said last night on the Labour Social, Ofcom needs more powers in order to regulate itself, needs more powers in order to sort of go after these people a lot more quicker and be able to sort of punish these people, because it's incredibly old. You know, most of these Ofcom rules, if you read some of them, actually refer to there only being 3 channels: BBC One, BBC Two, and ITV. So, yeah, Ofcom rules need a desperate update. But to be honest, as I've said this before, we've got a lot of problems in this country, and updating Ofcom rules, codes and regulations would be incredibly nice, something I would like to see, but we've got a lot more problems to deal with in this country. But we'll see what happens. Craig, over 7,000 complaints. There's no way GBB's has that many viewers. Yep. That's what I've got news for you said as well. Jordan K. Ofcom needs to use the powers it already has. It is using the powers it already has. The problem is those powers aren't as strong as a lot of people say they are, and it relies a lot on viewer input, on people reporting these breaches more than anything. And of course, it's actually a very, very small regulatory unit. And if you've only got so many people, well, it takes a long time to go after these. We've just had a recent announcement from Ofcom about a breach from GB News that happened last year. So it takes a long time, a long time, for Ofcom to do some of this stuff, which I understand for a lot of people does annoy a lot of people. I understand that, but it's why we need to, give Ofcom more powers as a regulator to be able to do this stuff. Yeah, Jay Lockwood, yeah, we do have a mountain to climb, but I feel that regulation is vital to move forward fairly. Yeah, I agree with you on that. But very often regulations are and discussing regulations are very time consuming, very, very intricate, and let's face it, boring. Boring often topics to talk about. Like I say, if anyone's ever tuned in to see debates on parliamentary regulation or them discussing regulation or anything like that, that's when you tend to see MPs fall asleep, especially the older ones. Always funny to see them fall asleep on the benches. But yes, so that's the Ofcom, not the Ofcom, the GB News story. As I said before, probably a long time coming, and to be honest, I think probably a lot more news from Ofcom on the way in this regard. Would not surprise me. Would not surprise me if there were. And by the way, the easiest way to keep up with Ofcom and then reporting on these breaches and telling people about them is on their social media. Whenever they have a breach or a decision about something, they write a very long, intricate blog about the decisions, about why they came to them, about the rules. Very, very interesting to read some of them. But they always put it out on their social media, so go follow them on Twitter. I think they're on Threads. Don't know if they're on Facebook. I think they're on Facebook. But yes, go and follow them on one of their social media things. And every time there is a new... Almost swallowed a fairy there. So yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in regard. But it would not surprise me if there were more, shall we say, rulings coming in against GB News in the not too distant future. But on to other news, breaking this morning. Now, as you all know, it is the conference season. And I think we have to talk about why these conferences are quite important. This really sets out the goal and direction for a political party of that year. It sets out what they're going to do as a party, how they're going to achieve it, and it allows them to sort of talk and interact along with the party along those grounds. So conferences are pretty important when it comes to the grand scheme of politics. And in particular, been saying this for a while, Rishi Sunak's entire fate rests 100% completely on his performance at this upcoming Conservative conference debate. And if you've seen Rishi Sunak speak, perform, talk, or whenever, you'll know he's not the most inspiring person when it comes to giving these speeches. But this is often the moment for leaders. Conference. Did we drop out there? We drop out. We're back according to this. I do apologise. The Barnes angle strikes again. Yeah, Loki's children. Sunak is about as popular as the plague. Yeah. Oh. So anyway, where were we? Yep, Sunak is doomed. Oh, he's doomed. He's doomed, as the Scottish would say. And I don't know if you've heard the news this morning. But 30 Conservative MPs, so that's a lot, have openly announced that they are not going to vote on anything at all that might increase people's taxes, and that they are demanding Sunak put tax cuts in. Or do tax cuts. So, going into a conference with over 30 of your MPs refusing to vote on policies, potentially even on your budget, and bear in mind, after this conference will come the autumn budget. So now this raises some interesting questions. Depending on how this conference goes, are all these factions that we've talked about in the past of the Tories going to be fighting like cats and dogs amongst themselves? Not only just here, but at the conference. To try and get things they want in the budget. So are we going to see rebellions about tax cuts? Are we going to see, as we have seen in the past, rebellions about rebellions? Or could we get a rebellion about a rebellion about a rebellion to try and get tax cuts? And I will say this genuinely honestly. I would love to to go to the Tory conference? Craig, the big question for the Tory conference is the fundraising. If it's bad, he's screwed. Exactly. Sabine, good morning to you. I would love to go to the Tory conference, but not the official Tory conference. Not the official Tory conference. What I would love to go to is what they call the fringe events. Because I would love to see, I would genuinely be interested to see what the fringe events of the Tory party are saying. Like, what events have they got going on around the actual conference to try and influence the Tory party? Because that's why these fringe events happen. They happen because they want to try and influence members to go in a certain direction. And I would be genuinely interested to go and sit and listen just to hear what wacky, crazy plans some of these Conservatives might be coming up with. It would genuinely be quite hilarious to go to. Why would you want to be there? Well, I've just said, Reagan, because it was going to be hilarious. The fringe events around that conference, you were probably going to hear some of the most wackiest, craziest things you have ever heard in your life. Oh. The morning yoga ponies. Morning, boys. Morning, morning, morning. Oh, Ben Ridings, good morning to you. Oh no, you woke up to another positive COVID result. Oh no. Well, like I say, it is going around at the moment here in the UK again. Something we need to watch out for, to be honest. I presume GBs will up sticks to Manchester for the weekend. Oh, absolutely. If you want more ponies, we've got more to cross. We've got more to cross. Craig, good grief. The Tory lunatic fringe when Corella is mainstream. The Nazi hanging, the Nazi, yeah, true, handing out armbands swag. Yeah, very true. Very, very true indeed. Anyway, good morning, boys. Just let you know I'm here. I'm going to try and get past you. I don't want you being surprised or anything like that, so don't please kick me. Oops, there we go. Whoop. Whoop. Morning, boys. This is the part I hate, walking past these guys. I don't want to shock them for some reason. Okay, I'm just going to get past you. Are you moving? Right, you're going to move. I'm just going to go around like that. Just want you to move to the side. That's all I want you to do. I want you to move to the side, not block the road. I just need to get past you, that's all. That's it. And of course, as you can see, they're getting huge hairstyles. Because they're nibbling into the nettles and whatnot, and they're getting all the things stuck in their hair. Yeah, they're going to look absolutely awful in a couple of weeks. We'll see. Where were we? Cine Doom is already signing sealed and will delivered. He's thinking inheriting this mountain of problems. It's quite the paradox. It's very true. GBBs will be posting Tory Jackanory stories. Oh, absolutely. Regularly don't upset the ponies. Very true. Trying not to. They might eat the phone. Well, yes, they might actually do that. But yeah, I really want to see what's going on in the fringes of this conference. I genuinely want to see what's going on. I've already seen a couple that I would be like, I would have loved to have gone to that. I would have loved to have gone to that just to see what they're saying. Because Michael Gove has an entire afternoon, apparently, in the Fringe planned from Onward, which is his conservative grouping. Oh, hello to you. I can't pronounce that. But hello to you in chat there. It would be absolutely fascinating to see what is going on in these conferences, because Michael Gove's got a full afternoon with Onward, and to hear what they want to say, because Onward is yet another one of these groups who is like, well, we've lost the next election. We've lost the next election. Let's instead start thinking what we're going to do after. And Onward is sort of a David Cameron-esque, but not quite as far as David Cameron-esque, move to the centre for the Conservatives. So that'll be interesting to see what they've got to say and how they intend to move in that direction. Ben Ridings, I believe the GB News presenters will have been suspended. It will develop following on. Probably they already have a following on YouTube. Yo, you from Thailand? Well, I think we've already got. I think it's Kroban from Thailand. I don't think he's in the chat today. There were many people on Twitter changing their handles to name cancelled by GP News. Doesn't surprise me. Will they talk about the Tories in the conference, the new far-right policy? Will they have with Braverman? Most probably. Nope. I didn't realise we've been followed. We've been followed. I didn't realise that. Oh. Braverman will be interesting, someone to keep an eye on for this conference, and it would be interesting to see what's in her planner. Like, what events, what talks is she going to do? I mean, obviously she has to do one for the main conference, you know, and set out her Home Secretary stall. So probably expect another crazy speech at the Conservative conference, that's for sure, from Suella. But it will be interesting to see what she gets up to at the Fringe. What other events does she go to? And where does she speak? And who does she speak to? That would be interesting. FY, good morning to you. That's the name. That's it. If your name's down, you're not getting in on the channel. Very true. Gove, another crazy subject to tackle all by himself. Oh, he is. He's absolutely. Gove is one of those interesting people who I think he's waiting for his right time to go for the leadership. You saw him obviously get absolutely torpedoed by Boris Johnson, and ever since then, every of the leadership contest that's come out, people have expected him to run or go and do something. And what shocked a lot of people was he went and unleashed Kimmy Badenoch onto the world. And in fact, that's the other video I'll be doing today. The new cabinet league tables have come out from the Tories. So we'll see who changes ranking and who's in charge. Scribbly, good morning to you. Is 30p Lee going to be allowed near the podium? I hope so. His ability to create comedy gold is priceless. Oh, that's what I would love to do. If there was a fringe event with Lee Anderson talking about the Red Wall. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised. If you've been following the channel, we've had a lot of local Conservative councillors, or in some cases, Red Wall Conservatives, crowing about the fact that that they were somehow going to re-win their Red Wall seats and that they were, quote, winning in South Yorkshire, when all they managed to hold on to was one council seat. Yes, winning winning in South Yorkshire, the Conservatives are. I'll add Govey joining K. It's about to be an empty field, just how Gove likes it. Well, that's if he survives, of course. That's if he survives. I mean, a lot of people talk about what happened after the 1997 general election. The Conservatives, after Major, they wanted to go on to not Howard, Portillo. They wanted to move on to Portillo. He was seen as the next leader of the Conservative Party. But of course, we had the infamous Portillo moment where he lost his seat. And because if you aren't an MP, well, you can't run to be leader of the Conservative Party. And honestly, this is another reason why we want to beat the Tories. We want to absolutely narrow the field as much as we can so that they end up fighting even more. Because if you saw last year's little spat that we had with the Conservatives in that leadership contest, wait until you see the next Tory leadership contest. Oh my. Oh my. Craig, eating random things with 30p Lee, followed by waterboarding with Cruella. Well, that's that could be probably it. That could be probably it. We used to call him Portaloo. Yeah, just doesn't surprise me. But yeah, it's another reason why we need to win big. And I know I talked about this with the Pony Club members in this week's video for them, and on Patreon, by the way. So if you would like to see all my Patreon videos or the videos that I do for the Pony Club members, like I say, links down below in the channel. We talked about this recently about Vosh. I just want to add more to this. He seems to be going on a very, very anti-British bent at the moment, which is fine. If he wants to go in that direction, I've reached out to him, others have reached out to him. He's wrong in a lot of instances, but that's because he doesn't know British politics. And yeah, if he wants to go in that direction, that's fine. Like I say, he's probably going to make a lot of money off this. It doesn't bother me. Like I say, I and I know others have reached out to him in regards to have a talk to him about British politics, but he doesn't seem to be interested in having a conversation about British politics, so that's fine. So yeah, I probably won't be addressing Vosh, or at least any more Vosh videos in the future, unless he says something really stupid or dumb about British politics again in the future. But yeah, he's pretty much inclined that he's not interested in having a talk about British politics, which is a shame, but never mind. So yes, what else is discussed? The rebellions that have happened before the Conservative Party conference. For those of you who might have missed that, We woke up to the news this morning that about 30 Conservative MPs are going to refuse to vote on things because of the amount of the high rate of tax. So that's a massive problem for Rishi Sunak going into the conference, when you've got a rebellion of 30 Tory MPs who are going to refuse to vote on things for you. What else are we going to talk about? Oh yes, we saw what we're calling the 3-hour U-turn from Rishi Sunak. So most of you probably know. Oh, hang on. This is why I hate holding it like this. Most of you probably know or have heard about the triple lock. This was an idea brought in by David Cameron that we are not going to touch your pension, and what we're going to do is we're going to create this thing called the triple lock, where it sort of guarantees the price of the pension, of the money that people get through either being through inflation or I can't remember what else it's tied to. But of course, this is costing our taxpayer, our government, a lot of money. And Sunak really wants to cut it. But the triple lock is really, really popular. He's really, really popular with a lot of pensioners. FY. They're whittling down the majority they have. Well, it's not like they had a majority. 91 Leeds, good morning to you. Tory MPs refusing to do their jobs. Oh no, the horror. It's like GB presenters going on strike. Exactly. But this is it. This is what they've got, the mess and the desperation that they got themselves into. Because Rishi Sunak then wanted to not get rid of the fuel allowance. He wanted to means test it so that basically the rich pensioners wouldn't get it because they don't need it, but the more vulnerable pensioners would be able to have it. And Phil said this last night, and I definitely agree with him on this. The Tory meaning of vulnerable is wild when it comes to saying who is vulnerable and who is not. Needless to say, Rishi Sunak, within 3 hours of this, did a massive U-turn. 1 hour was probably coming up and explaining it. The second hour was probably explaining to him why it would be a bad idea to do this. And then the third hour was probably like, how can we get away with this and not say that we've said it? Paz News, hopefully a few more months of the Tories standing at open till, stuffing their pockets, saying what? Probably so. Sunak needs to take as much money before as he get kicked out of power. That's very true. Like I say, he's desperate to get that India trade deal. He's probably not going to get an India trade deal, to be honest. We've talked about this in videos in the past. India is very, very, very protectionist. They're going to open no markets to us whatsoever unless it's massively in their favor. They do not need us. They are going to want more visa access, which the Conservatives are not going to want to give, or at least Sola Braverman is not going to give for that. So a lot of people are saying that that's going to be announced, like during the Tory conference. Oh look, we got so-and-so trade deal with India. Again, it's not going to be a good trade deal. It's not going to be a good trade deal. One of the things that Labour should go after the Tories on the election campaign is just how bad these trade deals are. It would be interesting to see if that can cut through. that one of the big reasons for doing Brexit was, oh, we can go do our own trade deals. Well, yeah, you've gone and done them, and they're absolutely awful. Yeah, that's the other thing, Catho G, you are right, the inheritance tax. That's something else that has probably been secretly U-turned, or might be announced, or at least probably talked about maybe more at the Tory conference. Because if you scrap inheritance tax, this blows about a £7 billion hole in the budget. You know, he'd be doing another Liz Truss if he did that. And here's the thing, I did a video about this, and I have never seen so many people who will never pay inheritance tax suddenly care about a tax they are never going to pay. Just remember, only about, 3 to 4% of people in the UK actually pay inheritance tax. Only between 3 and 4. And even then, we do not get the full benefits of the inheritance tax, because we see the rich, as they always do, use tax loopholes and all kinds of financial shenanigans, get out of paying as much as they can. So this is something that they've just suddenly stopped talking about. And when they suddenly stop talking about it, it means one of two things. Either A, they've realised how bad it would be, so they've stummed up talking about it, or B, they're now trying to think of a way of how they can do it and get away with doing it. So yeah, it comes down to pure desperation, I think. I think all these U-turns, all the fact that Sunak has been just doing so many desperate things so recently is just desperation. He's trying to find something, anything that can keep the Conservatives in the game. Because I think he probably knows, like all the other Tories know, they're going to lose. And I think he's desperate to try and find a way how they can lose, but lose, I don't know, goodly, if that would make sense. Yeah, they want to lose goodly. They want to retain, or they want to lose but retain enough MPs to be the effective opposition. Not lose bigly then. Possibly. I mean, they are going to lose very bigly, but they want to lose. They don't want to lose very bigly either. And this is what I say when the next election comes up. Vote tactically, vote Labour, vote Lib Dem. If you're not sure, there is a website which will tell you how to vote tactically. Something else that we haven't talked about is the Mid-Bedfordshire by-election, which unfortunately I think the Tories might win. I think they are going to win that by-election. And of course that would be Nadine Dorris's seat. And why are they going to win this? Well, Labour insists they can win, Lib Dems insist they can win, and so far from what we've seen of the campaign, it has been Labour and the Lib Dems attacking each other, not the Conservatives. And in the meanwhile, what ends up happening is that progressive vote in Mid-Bedfordshire will get split, probably between Labour and the Lib Dems, and unfortunately the Conservatives will walk away with that seat. That's what I fear, to be honest. happening in that seat. And to be honest, it seems to be happening already. And we cannot afford for this to happen like in multiple seats at the next general election. Otherwise, they are going to win seats which they could have lost. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the general election. But as always, thank you very much everyone today for joining me. It's been absolutely fantastic. I hope you've enjoyed your portrait view today, because for some reason it's decided to stay in this view. I don't know why, but there you go. Stay in the tunnel, you sound like the Wizard and the Wizard of Oz. They will milk this fate until the cow comes home. They probably will do that. So yeah, have a fun weekend, guys. Unfortunately, because of the train strikes, my plans have been altered, which is annoying, but not too much of a problem for me. I can get the bus. Yes, have a fun weekend. Go out, enjoy yourselves. Like I say, please do remember to click on the like and share button on your way out. Remember to leave a comment if you do after the stream ends. Like I say, that'll help with all the algorithmical stuff. Down below, there are links to my Patreon page, the one-off donation link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can buy me coffee. There's the YouTube thank you button, and of course, there's the Pony Club as well. And like I say, if you do join the Pony Club or the Patreon, you will have access to all the other extra videos that I make for the members for those two things. So, as always, thank you very much for joining me, everyone, today. And of course, as always, we'll see you next Saturday for another Good Morning Walk.